Big Boss Jock, my 750. Day 15 of the protest. Out here in front of the F.B.I. field office. Continuing on. El Poderoso. 750 kilohertz AM. En el radio. Soy yo, el gran jefe de los choques del discos. Radio Rebelde. Continuando. Día 15. Es una demostración, manifestación, protesta a frente de la oficina. Es la oficina. Je crois. Mais je n'ai pas une manière de buscar la computadora. Pantalla está fallando. No puedo continuar escribiendo más que usar pizarro y el papier. Put the pen to the paper and do it again. That's how I fight Yankee Sam. Look, I'm going to upload these, and I want people to understand. In the power towers, calm towers, artistic expression with a waiver. No one I encourage to do that unless a situation occurred. What are our guns for? Protecting ourselves from tyranny. Speaking right to you, Yankee Americans, who are now Reds, rebels. That's what you have those guns for, and you are aware. If the situation arises, now, that's a different story. See, that's a hypothetical. That's the artistic expression. Hit the calm towers, the power towers, bridges, ends, and middles, bring them down, harder to rebuild. Hit the grid, hit the grid. Hit the water purification. Go get that sewer. Oh, it's going to be awfully stanky in their houses. Summertime around here, it gets 110. And the houses inside will be 101. And nothing to flush with. Oh, yeah, it's awfully stanky. In Iraq, they know. They went from all day having water and electricity to 1 hour, if they were lucky, and that was after a while. That was Yankee Sam giving them democracy. Giving them, enforcing democracy. Expecting a great thanks. And that's what they do every place. Yankee Sam. When they intervene, they bring misery. Call it democracy. They'll have their couple success stories, and what about all the others they don't mention? That's Yankee Sam. Biggest terrorist in all the land. In all the land, the biggest terrorist? Yankee Sam. Day 15. 15 days of doing the same thing. Being humiliated, holding the sign out in front of the F.B.I. I don't know, my leg's sore in my hip. I don't want to complain, I'll just stay with it. Need a radio. Very frustrated, my eyes shake when I say radio. I'm quite frustrated. Can I get a radio? I'll bring you one. They'll say they can't. Why? Yeah, that's me, the sodomized victim. Sodomy victim sexual assault victim of the FBI. I don't want to put it all on the FBI, CIA, DIA since the day. They've been abusing me. I'm in their STEM-O-SEVER program. STEM-O-SEVER program belongs to the DIA. Daily operators are CIA. What are we going to talk about? Go back to the 30s. Grandpa, poor boy, that was his nomenclature. He made it. Meyer used it. He worked during the bank, and it was a name that Grandpa Earl Hawkins didn't favor later on because got pulled off was the heist. It didn't go wrong, and they got a lot of loot, each one of the crew. The group, U.S. Treasury Department, proof coins. After Earl's death, they can show up with his prints on them. Those prints are going to match up to the bank robbery. These clues are not there for the public to see because of the digital archives. FBI, this is the way they're keeping me a slave. They're aware of who is my family. Crime family. The Hawkins. Mobster since the day. Earl. His brothers all got made right after the robbery when he went back home to Idaho. They robbed banks until they got caught up in one. And they all have the choice. Go to their choice, go to war, wear the uniform, or go in and wear a different uniform, spend time in the penitentiary. One of the brothers took that way. The rest of them went to war. And I think when they went to war, it was before Pearl Harbor. I think the bank robbery was in 40. 40, yeah. 30s for Earl Hawkins was Lincolns, Packards, and Cadillacs. They get a new one every couple years. My grandmother, Dorothy, it was this way after the war. It's some of the funnest moments in her life. And that was being a moonshiner, running from the cops, shootouts. She told me the stories with a gleam in her eye. And then they torture me, zap zap. They, Yankee Sam, can't remember that. Well, I didn't remember that until 6 months ago. She told me the stories back in '88. We used to have a Sunday afternoon luncheon date. I'd take her, it was her money, and she would invite me to lunch. I drove. And her with Earl, they've been divorced for years. When she died, she had $180,000 she left me. Diane Hawkins has a power of attorney, took it all, I didn't know. Until recently. Yeah, I saw that Earl had left her $180,000. She didn't spend it, and she left it for me. The only one that cared about her, that would take her to lunch, would give her respect. She'd been in and out of the mental hospitals. The time, I mean, from the 60s, 50s. She acted a little bit differently. I understood she was my grandmother, and I took her out to lunch proudly. I was the only one in the family. She showed her appreciation by leaving me what she had, her money, that she got from Earl. Diane knew that if I had the $180,000, I would have took it to millions. I couldn't have the 180. And even if I didn't take it to the millions, I would have bought a house. I would have had a happy life with my wife. Our daughter hadn't been born. I got nothing, zero. At the same time, I was sitting in the barrio. Drinking, doing cane. And that was that reason why he'll just use it all up in cane and drink it all away. They never even told me. Who did was Paula Sue. She told me to come back home and that I had money waiting for me and it was wrong. So then, gamma ray, they tortured me, tortured that all out of my mind. She doesn't need to feel bad because she told me. And that's Mom. And they never mention anything again. Because they know it'll all get tortured anyways out of me. And they need to stay where they are. In order for them to stay where they are, I need to stay in my place, and that's being a slave. Otherwise, their way of life, they'll lose. And that's everyone around me. Family members, because I don't know any others. I do from a distance. I don't get close. Family members either. Oh, they threw me away years ago. They do this to me, and at the same time, they have a relationship with me where I'm the double O word and reminded often. You know, the one that starts with L and ends with her. I don't know, but I do know. This is very wrong. And I'll continue on. Protesting. I know no one's going to want to join the sodomy victim, the sexual assault victim of the U.S. government. The one that's out here on the pavement. Well, it is a sidewalk doing the wandering remote day after day. Can't even get a radio. Under $100. I could go. They'd have to put it on code red. The command center. They did before when my eyes turned red. That was 7 years ago when I got the warrant for my arrest. 6. That's what I heard. Code red. Enjoy the sound of the street. I'm enjoying the sound of the tunes. If you have these beats, it's on a CD. Soul hits, it's purple. It has the Soul Train. No, it has the Midnight Train. Is that where we went, Soul Train? That's right, Soul Train. Yes. Well, another day out here being humiliated in front of the field office of the F.B.I. right in California. Gonna do a couple more episodes, call it a day. Head on back to my hot toe on the other side of town. It's my home in my residency. It's not mine though. No, the house belongs to John with his daughter Tabitha. They're on the title. So I'm fortunate to be able to be under their roof. Specifically, it's his until he dies. I don't want to say specifically, but, well, not really. It's both theirs. She told me to move the F out if I couldn't find a job and start helping out. I let her know I've been looking for a job now for a year and 9 months. Could she put a word in with Diane Hawkins, talk to our aunt, and she talks to her often. She pays rent to her on the building that I owned in 1984. Pays $2,700 a month rent to Diane every month for a building that I owned in 1984. And she's paid that every month since 1989. And is aware that in 1984 I inherited everything, and who wasn't aware of that was me. I think they raised the rent though to $2,900. It's at $32 now. That's just one property. There's many. They were all mine. I inherited his estate. He was murdered by his daughters. Diane with Beth at her side. Paula Sue went along, so she'd be an accomplice. Meaning not at the act when it actually happened in the hospital. Diane injected the IV. He died shortly thereafter. He started getting quite sick as soon as she left. Well, he asked to have his body exhumed, the toxins checked. They later, I believe, I'm not sure, but they had the body dug up. This is what I understand. Everything I receive over the stim receiver, meaning 900 megahertz, I must perceive. That's all this information. I haven't found anything documented because national security, digital archives, gag order with special instructions placed in case I ever do go back and question the digital archives, lie to me. Even if it comes up on the screen, the information I need, they lie to me. Every agency, every private business, anywhere. U.S. national security. Saying you know what's going on. They're saying it too. She didn't know. There's a rhyme written about a war, a kickoff to war named Armageddon. And that's where the power towers and comm towers, sewer plant, water for purification, hit the grid. All can be read right in there. Book of Poems, Yankee Sam. There's another one too that'll make the people quite upset. Maybe cause them to be mad. Go out there and actually act. Take action. It's called The Foo That Was Too Foo. Lead the Group. Hawkins Family History. That one's interesting also. It's about a feud between Earl Hawkins and, well, let's put George Prescott's son, that one, Yellow Belly Bush, with my grandpa Earl Hawkins on the ship, World War II. Well, it explains a lot, and the people understand who's leading them. Big Boss Jock signing off momentarily. Day 15 of the protest out here in front of the FBI field office, Redding, California. Wandering remote. My 750. It is quite a show. El Poderoso. 750 kilohertz. 700 kilohertz. Oh, I'm slipping on the words. AM. Je suis fallando avec mis palabras. Largo día, siéndose humillado al frente de la oficina del FBI. Estoy lleno de frustración. Yo creo eso es injusto. Como yo creo, no tiene mucha importancia. Porque yo soy obligado a obedecer su autoridad. Yo vivo en el estado de policía. El Poderoso, 750 kilohertz AM en el radio. Soy yo el gran jefe de los jockeys del discos. Radio Rebelde. Firmando fuera.